Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. Guys, today is Friday, our last episode of the week, and probably last day of the working week for you. Maybe, might be, but probably, I don't know, for most people, a weekend is time when it's easier. You take a little bit more time off, you relax a little bit more, you refresh, restart to get after it with more motivation, energy, and drive than ever. Weekends, time off is necessary. We are not machines, guys. Our body, our muscles, our nerve cells, our brain, everything in our body, our digestive system, everything needs time to recover. We are not machines. So please do take time, away from things that usually get after, like, your fitness, your work, or whatever it is that feels like it's work, it's challenging. You need to take some time off that. Besides that, I'm laughing this morning because this whole week been all over the place when it comes to things happening in my life. It's like in my apartment, no water, no electricity, and I had to go to the next door apartment that is thanks God it's empty, to wash my dishes or to cook stuff, and then I had to go back to do my work, and then there was water, and then there was no water again, and now there is no water, seems to be anywhere. So a lot of things are happening, right? Not the best things you would think, but life is like that. Things will not go according to our plans. That's just a given. Sometimes a lot, sometimes a little. And we need to figure out, number one, how to accept it as fast as possible, because there is no reason, there is why would we want to complain about it, making it worse, making ourselves feel worse? It's not like we can change the fact that it happened, right? Like, there is no water, so what can I do about it? Yeah, I reached out to my apartment management and I told them, what's happening, that it's not convenient, that it's pain in the ass. But then after that, okay, I did what I could. Now I just need to deal with what I have, with what is, and build my life as much as possible around it, right? So first, accept it, and then take actions to deal with it, and then forget about it, because, there is nothing you can do. So you can as well just relax, chill, and continue your life. So that's just the lesson for Friday and for the whole week, for our whole lives. Guys, if there is one thing, one of the biggest things, there are many things that we learn in life, but like one of the core principles is we need to stop wishing. It is what it is, and we need to deal with it, with reality, instead of wishing for reality to be different. There is no use in wishing it to be different. It is what it is. And, having said that, also have a sense of humor, laugh about it, and also believe that whatever is happening, it's happening for the best, even if that best is helping you to get better at living this life with a bit lighter heart and attitude. A little bit of philosophy for Friday morning. Hopefully it made you smile and maybe look at your life, at things that might feel heavy and challenging with new perspective, and say, it is what it is. What am I going to do about it? And then keep enjoying your life, because there is always time and place for laughter and joy of living. That being said, guys, for this episode, I'd like to talk to you about some supplements. This morning, while walking on the beach, I was talking to my mom, and she was sharing with me what kind of supplements she got lately. And before, I remember when I was just starting out with my mom, changing her nutrition and supplements and changing a lot of things. She was very reluctant to try a lot of supplements. She's like, but there is food, it's all natural. Why should I take all these pills? And nobody else, from my friend circle seems to be taking anything. Why should I? But then, little by little, she took, magnesium, she took some B vitamins, she started taking some zinc and vitamin C. And she's like, I don't get sick. I don't feel sad or a little bit depressed anymore. I sleep much better. And, I don't complain about my pains anymore. There might be something to it. And she feels much better than her friends about things. She has much more energy now. She started walking a lot, like really a lot. And that's, again, one of the first symptoms that you are doing better, that your body is doing better, is when you naturally want to do more. Not because you tell yourself, well, I need to walk more. No, you naturally want to move more. The same, happens for me. People are like, why do you move so much and exercise and do this and that project? Don't you want to sometimes just chill and relax? No, I chill and relax when I get tired, but most of the time I want to do something because I have a lot of energy. I have this capable body and brain, and it's natural to want to do things. And a lot of it has to do with nutrition, of course. Probably if I ate, barely ate anything good for me and was eating pizza or, all this stuff that is not that nutritious, I would not be the person I am today. I would not be as active, trying to change the world, trying to, traveling to all these different places. I would be a completely different person. And you can be too. And we started talking about supplements. So, and a lot of people ask me, okay, Angela, so I want my brain to be productive, creative, and I want to be in this zone, in the flowing, delivering my work consistently, doing everything I can do during my working hours, using them as effectively as possible, so I could, produce more work, I could leave a legacy, I could change something. Like, what supplements should I take? What are some of the best supplements proven, that are effective? And there are these supplements, specifically for brain, for our high performing brain, to improve memory, your mental state, being more positive, being more outgoing, being more confident, having, things on the tip of your tongue and knowing when to say and what to say instead of trying to remember all the things, coming up with amazing, unique ideas, and sleeping well and bursting with this, positive energy, wanting to do stuff. Supplements can help with that, especially if you're not always, sure that your diet is all that balanced. And there are a few supplements that I really recommend you to look into because they have very few, if any, downsides, but have a huge upside. So let's jump right into that. B vitamins, B complex, not just, B12 for vegans. No, the whole B complex, not in huge amounts like 1000% and everything. No, but at least adequate amount, 100, 200%. Some vitamins like B1, you can take 1000% and there is no downside at all. Your body will just flush out what it doesn't need, but it seems to be very, very absorbable in supplement form. And what B1, for example, does, it's very important for nerve energy, basically helping your nerves to communicate very effectively between each other, right? And it also has to do with getting energy from carbohydrates. And we know that glucose and energy from carbohydrates is very important for our nerve health and the productivity of our brain. So B vitamins, and each of them has very specific purpose. Most of the B vitamins are involved in some capacity in getting energy from our foods, or metabolizing something for energy, or creating that energy. And energy, we know that our brain, it eats up 20-25% of our energy. It's very energy dependent. It's very energy thirsty. And you can imagine if you are deficient in some B vitamins, or you get very tiny amounts of them, or bare minimum, then your brain is not going to be all that effective, not as effective as it could be if you had plenty of B vitamins. And so B complex, all of them, not just, B12. Again, we also learned yesterday, for example, that B6 is needed to make serotonin and also involved in making dopamine, the molecule of drive that makes us go. B6 is involved in many reactions, but then we also have B1, B2, and we have choline that is kind of like B vitamin, and we have B12 and folate. All of them are super important for nerve health, for energy extraction and making of energy. And just these two factors, energy extraction and nerve health, and creating neurotransmitters that we need to make us do things or not do things, to make us memorize things, remember things, and learn things. So B vitamins are super important, guys. And that's why almost everyone who I recommended B complex, like my mom, their mental state, their attitude, their day-to-day satisfaction of life, joy of living, in almost every case, it improves a lot. And people don't even notice. My mom doesn't even notice that she doesn't complain anymore. She is super positive. She is super active. She just wants to live and do things. She doesn't notice it because, it's very hard to get outside of your head. But I do notice. And it's amazing what these vitamins do. A person can be complaining all the time and feeling like the whole world is going to an end, or a person can be positive, optimistic, and proactive, trying to change things, trying to do things. And it all has to do with B vitamins in our systems. And a lot of us are not getting sufficient amount of these vitamins. And again, because of very few downsides, if any, except for, some people with some conditions, but you'd probably already know about those conditions if you had them. Except for that, B vitamins, take them. One of the coolest supplement, I find it's cool, it's fortified nutritional yeast. It kind of tastes like something cheesy. I just like having it whenever I can get my hands on it. But B vitamins seem to be very absorbable there, and you can use it as something to, again, add cheesy flavor, unless you have, some sort of thing that you can't consume yeast, like if there is, again, some condition with your gut microbiome, overgrowth of yeast, or some other imbalance, then might be not a good thing for you. But B vitamins, in whatever form you can find them, I highly recommend the whole B complex. Again, not just B12 or B6, but the whole complex. So this is a brainy supplement number 1, B complex. Number 2, a lot of studies have shown that B vitamins are not as effective if you are missing out on omega-3 fatty acids, specifically the ones that are found in fatty fish, like salmon, mackerel, herring, oysters. A lot of shellfish has omega-3s that we need. So a lot of B vitamins are not as effective when we are deficient in this omega-3 fatty acids, not the ones that you can find in chia or flax or any other plant-based sources, but specifically marine sources. Some are from algae, but most of them are fish oil. So if you're not like myself, who eats their fatty fish almost every single day, then please do supplement. It is recommended 2-3 grams is really, really beneficial. So 2-3 grams of fish oil, take it, and your B vitamins will work much, much better. And those omega-3 fatty acids, guys, they are structural fats. So they not necessarily being used by neurons or nerve cells or brain cells, but we need them to make different structures to support nerve function. So our nerves, our brain cells, not going to function that well when we are deficient in this omega-3 fatty acids. So another thing, again, if you don't eat fatty fish almost every single day, and you are interested in the most productive, healthy brain for, now and many, many years from now, you're not interested in getting things like Alzheimer's or dementia, then I highly recommend you to also look into omega-3 fatty acids. Either start eating that fish or start supplementing. Eating fish is always better because fish doesn't just have omega-3s, but it has a lot of other supporting nutrients from our electrolytes and our minerals that are also hugely important for nerve health, for brain health, to proteins, to electrolytes. A lot of good things are in fatty fish, not just fish oil, right? That's why if you do love fatty fish, eat it more often. And the last but not least, it is kind of a new kid on the block. It has been discovered and put on the radar of essential nutrients quite recently compared to other nutrients. It's kind of like B vitamin, but it's not. It's called choline, and in the brain it's made into neurotransmitter acetylcholine, and that neurotransmitter is very important for memory and learning. And it seems that people who start having a lot of brain disorders like Alzheimer's or dementia among those, or learning disabilities, seem to be having inadequate amounts of choline. And the thing with choline, it's very hard to get from foods. Eggs are the only viable sources that you can say, okay, I eat enough choline. And one egg is 25% approximately of the choline that we need. Now, we can find choline also in some nuts, seeds, and some vegetables. But beans also, some grains, but we need to eat a lot of them. And by a lot, I mean like pounds. That's why most people get some, but not enough. And I'm trying to eat eggs for that reason. Besides, eggs have a lot of other nutrients, especially important for brain health. But because choline it's so important for memory and learning, and I love learning. I'm a sponge for learning. This neurotransmitter acetylcholine, it helps to improve signal to noise ratio. Basically what it means is when we want to pay attention to something, to learn it, to memorize it, right? We want to focus on something. So this acetylcholine that is made from choline in eggs, what it does, it like spotlights the things that we are focusing on, and the rest of the stuff that is happening around us kind of goes into shade. That's what acetylcholine does. And when we don't have this, we get things like ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, when people just can't focus, they just pay attention to everything. And it's very hard to learn anything in this state. So choline, very important. It is also important for dreaming, specifically for rapid eye movement sleep, where we create a lot of connections, and it's also important for our mental health, and of course because of that it's important for creativity. So choline, memory, learning, creativity, it's very hard to get from foods. Eggs are the richest sources. One egg is 25%. Usually if you want to get it from food, I would probably go for at least 3 eggs, and then the rest of the choline you can get in bulk eating beans and fruit and vegetables. Not so much fruit though. Vegetables, nuts and seeds and beans and grains, dairy products which have some, and also other animal products have some choline. But again, eggs are the richest sources. So by having a balanced diet of many different foods and having 2-3 eggs every day, you're gonna get enough choline. I'm gonna look in choline supplements because it seems like they're not as easy to find, or at least the ones that you can find. A lot of them are actually in smart drugs. They're hard to dose, like people get it and then get hyper driven to work, like you have all this drive, but then you get a crash when it's hard for you to do anything. And then also not all of them are absorbed all that well by people. So it seems that it's much better to get it from food. There is also some natural supplement that I'm going to explore. It's brewer's yeast, and in a couple of tablespoons, 2 tablespoons, it's 25% of that choline. So brewer's yeast, I'm gonna, do a little bit more research on that because I just learned about it recently. But yeah, for now, I'm eating eggs. I'm gonna explore acetylcholine supplements and brewer's yeast because I don't want to have to eat eggs every single day, right? And that's when having a supplement might be convenient because I am interested in being great at learning, memorizing things, and being creative every single day. I don't want to miss a day of that, right? So I want to have enough choline, but don't necessarily want to eat eggs every day. And these are the supplements that I recommend you to look into. They are effective, proven to be essential for brain health and especially for brain performance, right? We don't just want our brain to be healthy, we also want it to perform really, really well, super productive, super creative, confident, learning, memorizing stuff really well, not having anxiety, being optimistic, going after things. All of that is the property of a healthy, productive brain. And for that, I recommend to look into next supplements. B vitamins, omega-3 fatty acids, specifically marine omega-3 fatty acids, 2-3 grams. And then choline, either in your eggs, 2-3 eggs a day, plus a lot of other foods where you get the rest of your choline. You can look into acetylcholine supplements and brewer's yeast. And that's about it, guys. If you have questions about anything that you heard on today's podcast, then please use the link in the show notes. They're gonna lead you to a form where you can submit your question. Share this episode with another person who is super interested in having the healthiest, the most genius brain for the rest of their lives. I don't know about you, but I don't want to end up being in my 70s and in 80s being physically able, but my brain doesn't work. Like, I don't remember things or people. I can't take care of myself. Like, this is a very, very sad situation, right? Our brain is everything. It's how we perceive life, how we are aware of our life. It's the quality of our life. So I want to keep my brain as genius as possible till the rest of my life, till the day I die. I want my brain to be a superstar. And that's why it's important to take care of it right now, because a lot of things accumulate, and studies have shown this. A lot of things start happening 20, 30 years before we notice things like dementia or Alzheimer's. Some, plaques or certain unwanted proteins start to accumulate long before we notice and people around us notice any effects of negative effects of that brain disorder. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Sleep well and restart to get ready for the next week of mind-blowing accomplishments. And till next time, as usual, eat better daily.